Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking. Environment, engineer's role, designs, construction, methods, contracts, organizations, communication, coordination, and why be behind quality of standard materials and works. Very common and included topics interrelated to each other. This talk has been ongoing for many months, and because life is full of actions and materials and services, it's therefore very important for everyone, every professional, every other person to think of our profession. And these certificates that I am trying to show, these quietly indicate that what we have to do, because certificate is not meant for filing or for putting as exhibits on walls what one is. Empowerment by the certificate means one has to be proactive in field of controls, in discipline of controls. One should be controllable and control others. These certificates, particularly I am talking about engineers who are actually responsible for production of quality and keeping up safety, upkeep of safety or somewhere else. These certificates speak a lot, and one must that one must give that lot. But who can give that lot? Only person who is responsible, who is determined, who is committed, who is dedicated, and on top of all these, will is required. What role one has to work in. It's not actually impossible, but it requires stamina, potential, capacity, resistance. Because to achieve quality, I don't think it's very difficult. Not at all difficult. People used to work in quality systems in which was not known at that time. I go back to, I think, when I was too young. I did not start even my engineering profession. I used to hear this is standard work, this is quality work, this is according to requirements. And people used to say, don't do corruption. Generally, people used to say, don't do corruption, and corruption was considered very bad. Means I even heard, in ratio, how much salt you had to add to your flour, wheat powder. It's very small, just you can say if you have 1 kilogram flour, you add just half a spoon of salt. And people used to say, okay, its quantity of corruption here is, if you can measure, is just half spoon full salt into flour. That was different time. People were gods fearing, people were society fearing, people were respect fearing, honor fearing. That was not computer society, that was not computer time, and that was not time to run only behind money. You know, running only behind money is a cause of concern. I don't know why I put this time running behind money, but I have noticed since my infancy that I did not even know that you have to run behind money. And people used to measure your personality first by what is your character, what is your education qualification, because in those days we were young post independence, and there was no major percentage of people well educated. Education was considered number one priority, particularly in, you can say, middle class people, or in those classes who are very high. Young people coming from lowest classes also were very concerned about education, and people were even people used to search where is some graduate or some gadgeted officer. Likewise, where is some engineer or some doctor. You may say profile of qualification, education qualification was considered significant, and it was, you can say, a respectful moment when people used to say this person is a degree holder or graduate, this person is a postgraduate, or this person is a gadgeted one. These were, you can say, these were criteria which which were used to measure personality of someone. Then used to come second was money, power. What is the status of this person in having property, in having wealth? And then, of course, combination of two were created and evaluation was made. But individual respect, individual consideration and quality aspect was very high. At that time there was no quality system. In engineering also there was no standard definition of quality system, but people believed in proper working. I can say if I can get that time back would be fine, but it's not going to happen because value of money has gone up and value of education has gone down. And if value of education exists, it has been virtually linked to earning package. Before getting admission into university, or even you can say at school level higher classes, one links it to science or to commerce or to something else. Means I want to join engineering field, or I want to join medical field, or I want to join such field where I can get more package. Package has been linked to personality of a person, package of remunerations, and that is not right way. You cannot measure performance of a person in scales of how much you can earn. If you just keep that fixed one, then certainly it cannot develop society. When money is considered top level, then where is performance? You may say if money is considered controlling point or directing point, how can you move yourself? Then everything goes second. Health goes second, then character goes second, then truth goes second. You can say entire system becomes dipped in polluted water. Where is quality? Question arises that, and I say quality is not something you can imagine. It's not imaginary requirement. It is virtual, it is physical, it is practical, it's mechanical requirement. Who can give quality? Who can understand quality? Who can value quality? Who can give constant quality? It's not simply I start something just for my moment, successful moment. I be proactive in quality production. And when I say, okay, I give discount also. But later on, when I see my business starts up very well, it moves on, I try to, you can say, lower quality standard because I think my product has got trust of public. And then it's otherwise different standard. Its different quality system comes into action and which is not acceptable. Every day I stress on quality because quality is life. If you say no, then you falsify yourself because you cannot read nature, you cannot read life, you cannot read yourself. Quality cannot be declined, it cannot be devoid. Quality has to stand, only point is which level we do. What we agree we must do, and if you don't do, we can say it's a mistake of ourselves, it's against our soul, it's against, you can say, principles of God. Because God itself is very good quality producer. If God cannot produce quality, then we cannot exist. No one can exist. This whole system, whole solar system cannot exist. Quality is such a powerful criteria in activities. Quality roles, and you can say quality is required everywhere and in every activity in life. And life means engineering, social engineering, existing engineering, that is life. You may consider profession of engineering, but in fact, living itself is engineering. Survival itself is engineering. Because you are living due to some intelligence you have. You work because you have some intelligence you have. Whatever you do is based on certain coefficient of engineering that you have inherited in, or you have your own achievement, or you will learn from someone else. So it's not only that profession of engineering is concerned here, life itself is engineered. Life itself is engineered, and that life has certain quality system which is normally virtual, normally proactive on itself. How do you live? How do you eat? How do you have, ambition? All that count to quality. Maybe we don't give names as such. We can't entitle it, oh, it is part of quality. How do you bath? How hygienic you are? What is your standard of eating? Can you take food 3 times or 2 times? Do you have proper means of education? Do you have proper means of moving further? Do you have proper clothing? Do you have good house? Or you are in rented house? Are you going to school? Are your children going to school? And whatever it is, every part counts in standard of life. And standard of life means quality of life. Generally, quality is being used in many sections in society, in many, you can say, areas in society, we can say. or this person is quality person, we should say. This engineer is quality engineer, you can say. This professor is quality professor, you can say. What is quality there when we say this is quality engineer, this quality professor, this quality doctor, this quality politician, this quality human? We can classify as such. Means there is some expectation, there is some understanding that this person should have that capability, should have that, determination to do something to that level which is expected. And that level is not easy. We say to make reputation, to achieve reputation, to have reliability towards others, reliability and you can say accountability. You may say reliability, availability, accessibility, accountability, and your own maintenance of standards. Generally, combination of this is called RAM, reliability, accessibility, accountability, whatever you call it, and maintainability or maintenance. You can say anything as to an extent that it works. So my supposition of quality, apart from what is formally defined, is entirely varied. It's not exactly what people think, but I say I have to define my personal quality. What is my personal quality? I know very well. People know little or lesser than to what I know, and that is personal quality. Then of course there should be some general quality that people know about me based on my reactions, based on my performance, based on my nature, based on my, you can say, commitment, based on my reliability towards them. That can be said general quality. And then of course how my mind works, how my mind approaches, what nature in my mind is, how do I react, and that is my, you can say, at large, at long length, that quality applies. So we can say personal level quality, private level quality, that can impact your closer relation, that can impact your friendship, that can impact your society at personal level or private level, and at general as well as at your mind level, that quality works. But that doesn't directly, involve or target product quality, because your attitude is established by that. Because what I defined is attitude quality. If my attitude is towards proactive environment, toward positive thinking, positive work, even though requirement is negative, I consider that negative as positive, because when something is negative means you have to correct. You apply correction on that negative aspect, so that that negative aspect, which could be considered risk factor, that can be converted to positive. And when it is positive, it becomes opportunity. So negative is risk factor and positive becomes contribution to that safety environment or quality environment. So where I can say quality can be directly related to safety, it can be related to health, as well as it can be related to environment. Because if one is safe, time is safe, work is safe, it's healthy work, it's healthy person,